Well, if the gray skies of spring have got you feeling a little blue, then go get your calendar, because on today's show we're going to be talking about events coming up in the summer that'll get you out of the house, get you feeling better, and get you into the swing of things. On the first segment of today's show, we have Rochelle Pellicer. Rochelle, welcome.
Thank you.
Rochelle is the president and CEO of the Truckee Donner Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
And Rochelle, one of the events that we want to talk about in the first part of the show is Windows on History.
Yes. May, the Town Council has officially made May Truckee History Month, and we have a month-long event going on that's capped off by a whole series of events at the end of the month.
And tell us what folks can expect to see during the month.
Well, during the month, you can go downtown and see historic photos and little captions about Truckee through all the merchants' windows. Then at the end of the month, we have several events going on. It's the Memorial Weekend with carriage rides, a melodrama, guided tours, all sorts of great things going on that'll be fun for the whole family.
And people should note, too, if you're looking at your calendar, you'll see that Memorial Day weekend is not the last weekend of the month. It is the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. So make sure you've marked your calendar accordingly, even if you're just trying to plan for traffic in town. Rochelle, when you walk downtown right now, what you'll see are some photographs and plaques.
Yes, historic photographs in the windows of the merchants. This is the fourth.
A great way to get downtown, stroll past the historic buildings, which really make up the character of our town, and then see some of the history. And Windows on History is such an appropriate name for that.
And see what the building history buffs and everyone else too.
What sort of events on Memorial Day weekend, who will people have to call, first of all, for information? Let's get that.
You can call the Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
We've got a list of events. Some of the events, like I said earlier, are a melodrama that's good for parents and children. Carriage rides, a cemetery tour. For the first time, we're going to tour a historic cemetery. There'll be gunfights, and not real gunfights, of course.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Historic gunfights. Lots of fun things. You can take a guided tour of downtown. We have a historic walking map where you can take a self-guided tour month and throughout the year. But on that particular weekend, we'll have a guide giving the tours.
I remember that from last year. Those were very
Right.
popular.
Yes,
very, very popular.
they are, and fun.
Who all is working on this? Obviously, the Chamber is.
Well, the Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring the event. Merchants and townspeople all over town. The event actually goes all over town. The Historical Society is having a wine and cheese social on the Sunday of Memorial Weekend with the PUD, so that is at the PUD building. The factory outlets are having a Donner Party presentation during that weekend.
Sure.
So it's not just historic downtown. Our entire town has a lot of history, so it's spread all throughout town.
Well, that's a great event. That's a
Yeah.
great event. Let's talk about what else is going on in May. We have Memorial Day weekend will also be the opening of West End Beach.
Yes, for those hardy souls that want to get in the water in May.
Right now, are we just getting a team of people out there with hair dryers to blow off the last of the snow? Or?
Well, I think they want us to go first, so I don't know how big the team is.
I'm not ready for a polar bear swim, Rochelle. Also coming up in May, the Memorial Day weekend is also the date when the Truckee Home and Building Show goes on.
Yes.
And the Home and Building Show is really a great opportunity to get out, see what's new for home building, for home construction or remodeling. It's held at the high school. It'll be usually in the gym at the high school. And there'll be booths there that you can visit. The cost at the door is generally very low. I don't know what it is this year, but it's usually $1 or $2. And there's also a home tour that goes on in conjunction with the Home and Building Show. So that's another thing to keep your eyes out for on Memorial Day weekend, aside from all the traffic in town. And then getting into June, Rochelle, this is one of my very favorite events, and this year I'm going to make sure that I get you there as well. The Optimists hold their annual, or excuse me, Sir Optimists hold their annual wine tasting at North Star, and that will be June 6th in the evening, and you can contact a local Sir Optimist for tickets or for information on that. That's a tremendous event.
I hear it's excellent food and wine.
30 restaurants and 30 wineries will be participating, both locally and from out of the area, and it's one of the big social events of the year, but it's also a whole lot of fun, and of course it benefits the Sir Optimists.
Yes.
So the monies are going right back into the community, and that's a good thing. Let's see, what else do we have going on? We have also on June 6th the Truckee Locals Preview Party and Charity Benefit. Again, this is a benefit. It's also going on June 6th, and it's going to be Traders Cafe, which is located in the Outlet Center.
Yes.
So you might want to get some more information on that. There's flyers around town, or you can contact Summit Traders for more information on that. And again, that's a benefit.
Yeah, it goes to a lot of the good charities in town. So not only do you get good food, you're benefiting our community.
You know, and that's a lot of the events that you see going on around town. In fact, I'd venture to say most of them are not commercial endeavors. These are either put on by volunteers or put on by service groups as a fundraiser. So these are really not going to line the pockets of some big company, but really just put on to have an event here in town.
And most of the events, too, are to showcase our wonderful community to the outside world, so to speak.
And they'll all be here on Memorial Day weekend. Also coming up in June is the Young Eagles Flight Rally. Now this is good, and this might replace the flight bug that some of us had to forego when we stopped doing the air show.
Right.
But the Young Eagles Flight Rally is going to be for children ages 8 to 18. Will be able to take place free plane rides, free tours of Truckee from the air, and that should be a fun thing to do. So again, if you're looking for information on that, you'll want to contact the Truckee Tahoe Airport.
Yes.
Peter Soderquist would be a good contact for that. Sorry about that, Peter. And get more information on that. But again, that's coming up on June 27th. Well, Rochelle, thank you for the information on Windows and History.
Always happy to do it.
Thank you for joining us. We'll come back to you. When we come back in the next segment, we'll be talking about the July activities. And as you know, July means not only 4th of July, but Cannibal Cruise and Summer on the Green. So we'll be talking about all of those events in just a minute. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. We're talking about summer events, and I hope you still have your calendar out, because now what's going on in July. And with us on this segment of the show is Steve Maitland from the Truckee Donner Optimist Club.
Yes, Maya.
Welcome, Steve. It's nice to have you here. And welcome back to Rochelle Pellissier from the Truckee Donner Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
There is a lot going on in July. July is usually a really jam-packed month of events for us, and we're starting off with the Craft Fair and Music Festival, July 3rd through the 5th, which is taking place at the Truckee Tahoe High School, right here. Steve, tell us about that.
We'll have about 30, 40 crafters out there. We've got some great music, Clan Nagel, great entertainment, Grin and Barrett. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
And that's,
lots of food.
And that goes on for 3 days?
For 3 days. It'll be through the 4th of July festivities.
Oh, great.
And it's a fundraiser to help out with the school.
So that'll be held here at the high school in the parking lot? Or?
Right out in front.
Oh, you'll see the banners and the booths and everything else.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And then right follows that, naturally, Rochelle, is 4th of July, which has always been a big event for Truckee Donner Chamber. And tell us what's going on this year.
Well, again, this year we'll have the street dance on the 3rd of July.
And that's held downtown?
Downtown in the depot parking lot. Live band, lots of fun. Then we have the parade the next day, which is always a lot of fun for the whole community. I love those small town parades. What fun.
We have the best.
Yes, we do
really
have
have
the
the best. The Truckee Precision Drill Team, is not to be missed.
No.
These guys marching down the street with their sorels and their Hawaiian shirts doing
Right.
the precision drill with their ski.
People, locals, and visitors.
Beach display has been very, very successful the last few years. And let's talk a little bit about that West End Beach, because it's kind of evolved. At one point, the West End Beach event was kind of a rowdy event, and now it's really geared towards families.
It is geared towards families, and liquor and glass are not allowed on the beach, and we've had to start checking everything that comes in to make sure that it doesn't come, the liquor doesn't come in.
So you can't bring your own, but there will still be beer for
There's
sale.
beer for sale and
Okay.
lots of good food for sale, so.
You don't have to worry about bringing a picnic if you haven't. There's still food there to get.
Right.
And then will John and Kay Whitney be back doing the events booth?
Doing the fun, yeah. They're the fun masters.
All right. So we can look forward again to the potato sack race.
Karaoke,
Well, the karaoke. Yeah.
my favorite.
Well, good. Then we'll see you there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make sure to put your
Then
name
no
in
one
the
else will
drawing.
come ever again.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to work pretty hard at driving them away. Steve, will we see you down at West End Beach on 4th of July?
Probably not. I'll be at the music festival there at the high school.
Ah, so you'll be working. So you've got a choice of events to go to this
Exactly.
weekend. Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot you can do. I mean, that's what's fun about Truckee. You don't have to just be doing one thing.
That's
you can
right.
visit a lot of things.
That's right. Also, probably a good time to remind you that for the fireworks display, you want to make sure not to count on being able to park along the highway, Highway 80. They're real good about monitoring the cars there. The Highway Patrol won't let you do that.
Right.
And it gets pretty crowded up on the summit, too. So if you're going to grab a seat, grab one early.
They close that Vista Point.
And they close Vista Point by Rainbow Bridge. So just plan ahead. Come on down to the beach and watch it down there, and it's a fun event. And like we say, a real family-oriented event. And you mentioned the parade as well. That's certainly a family-oriented event. It's as much fun to watch it as it is to be in it. So either way, you can't lose.
And we have people all year long calling to ask, what is the, what's going on? When can I sign up for the parade? So it's very fun.
Is there a theme for this year's parade?
Small town, big in history.
Hey, that goes right along with our Windows on History,
Yes.
too. Okay, so that takes care of July 4th. Also going on 4th of July is Ragin' at the Ranch, which will be held up at Donner Ski Ranch, and that's mountain bike race series. There's actually a series going on all summer for that, and you want to contact Norm and the guys up there at Donner Ski Ranch to get more information on that. But that's, again, another event going on that same weekend. Okay, Steve, this is the big time now. We're going to be talking about your guys' big event for the year, the Cannibal Cruise, or what I see as your big event of the year. Now, this is a big deal, and people come from literally all four corners of the state and beyond to bring their hot rods and show them off.
Right.
How
We've had people come from as far as Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the furthest we've had car that we've had actually drive in, and he drove all the way.
And how many cars do you expect to see at this year's Cannibal
We'll have
Cruise?
350 cars.
350.
Mhm.
And when we're talking about cars, of course, we're talking about classic old cars.
The classic pre-1972.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Anything from hot rods to stock cars to your classic two-seat sports cars.
Roadsters and sports cars. We have, I know, some locals here that bring their cars, but of course, as we said, there are people that come from all around the United
Right.
States to bring their cars. What's the dates for the Cannibal Cruise this year?
The dates this year, 11th and 12th of July,
Okay.
weekend after 4th of July.
Okay. And aside from the classic cars, which people will see at the Cannibal Cruise, what else will they expect to see there?
We will have arts and crafts, of course. We'll have memorabilia vendors out there. We've got lots of entertainment. It'll be nonstop from the Friday night concert all the way through Sunday.
Okay, so we've got the Friday night concert, which is usually a 50s kind of music.
Right, it's a 50s theme music. The whole event is pretty much 50s, 60s.
Okay, so bring your
event.
poodle skirt and
Bring your poodle skirt and come out and dress up, or come dressed in your beach attire, whatever you want to do.
Well, you'll know the optimists because they're the ones with the tropical print shirts on.
This year, I think we're going to go with a solid.
Oh, no. Well, I take it back then.
But that's okay. Yeah, it's trying to get the guys in those flowered shirts are pretty tough.
A little hard.
Yeah.
A little shoehorn lubricant there to get them in. Okay, so you've got the Friday night concert, Saturday night sock hop.
Saturday night sock hop, we'll have Papa Clutch and the Shifters there,
Oh, they're
as
great.
usual. And, of course, we'll be doing our fabulous chicken dance contest, like we do every year.
Now, this is really not to be missed. This
It
is
is
the
not to be
chicken
missed.
dance event of the
Right.
year.
Last year we had roughly 2,000 people at the dance, and we had 2,001 doing the chicken dance.
That one would have been you, Steve?
Yeah, I usually don't do too much dancing at night.
Well, we'll look for you at the chicken dance. I'm
Definitely.
sure we can get you out doing that. Also coming up, there's a few more events coming up in July to keep your eyes out for. And again, if you have any questions on these events, one of the businesses to contact would be the Truckee Donner Chamber and get some more information. But on July 19th, we have a triathlon out at Donner Lake. You can grab 2 other people and share the event, or you can do it all by yourself if you are so inclined. July 25th is the annual Old Timers Picnic at Regional Park. That's a big event.
What a wonderful thing in Truckee
Yeah,
that
that
is.
is.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that is.
That is just what Truckee's all about.
It truly is, and it really brings out the sense of community and also our attachment to our past, which Windows on History
Right.
does as well.
And we listen to our elders, so to speak, and, it's just a wonderful thing. I think it really shows off Truckee's spirit.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you, Rochelle. July 25th and 26th is also the World Championship Motorcycle Trials at Donner Ski Ranch. So Donner Ski Ranch, when you take off your skis up there, you're now putting on 2 wheels, either the motorcycle kind or the bicycle kind. And July 25th is also the 18th annual mountain run at Squaw Valley. So, boy, folks, if you're not in training now, you ought to be, because there's a lot of events that are going to require some stamina coming up. So you want to make sure that you're getting into shape. Will we see you at the mountain run, Steve?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good. All right.
Right out in front.
Right out in front. Well, Steve, Rochelle, thank you so much for being on the show. Come in and find out about all the activities that are going on. And we really appreciate all the work that both of you do and your groups do for the community. They're just great events. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you at most of these. Rochelle, I know I'll see you at 4th of July.
All the time.
We just can't miss that. When we come back, we'll be talking about one of the summer's premier music events, the Concert on the Green. We'll be back in just a minute. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. We're wrapping up this last segment of the show talking about the Concert on the Green, which is really a premier concert musical event here in Truckee during the summer. With us here on the show is Marcy Cahoon. Marcy, welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
Nice to have you here. Now, you are the event coordinator for this concert this year?
Yes.
Okay.
I've been-
Tell us a little history, if you will, before we go into what's happening this year. Tell us a little bit about how the Concert on the Green evolved.
The Lake Tahoe Summer Music Festival approached Tahoe Donner requesting to use their driving range as a venue for one of their events. And the piece of paper happened to come across my desk, and I became very excited about the possibility of having an orchestra event in Truckee and on such a beautiful setting as the driving range at Tahoe Donner. And so we've been doing it for the past 6 years.
And it really is, it's a wonderful event. You pack your picnic or don't. You can buy food there and sit on that beautiful green with the trees in the backdrop and listen to symphony music.
It's a beautiful setting, and the sunset, if it's not cloudy, if it's cloudy, it's warm. If it's not, it's cold. But the sunsets are beautiful.
And the rule of thumb for any Truckee event really is dress in layers.
This is going to be the 6th year.
To see this year, what kind of music will they hear?
The Reno Philharmonic will be coming. It's a 55-piece orchestra. And they'll be playing, the title is called A Summer Rhapsody. And we've music and actually had some dancers come in. We try each year to bring in a little interesting highlight, something other than just 2 hours of music, which is beautiful music and would be totally entertaining in itself. But we generally try to bring in a little point of interest, that a highlight. And we've had dancers, and we've brought in cannons.
Yes, I remember the cannons.
Which there's quite a little story behind the cannons. But then this year we're going to be bringing in a grand concert piano with a pianist, and we'll be having, the music will be everything from Duke Ellington to big band sounds. We'll do a symphony from Mr. Holland's Opus, and piano concerto by Edvard Grieg, who's a Norwegian composer. So it'll be a nice event, and we'll also have a vocal soloist along with a pianist to sing.
I'm sorry.
And the music starts at 7.
Okay.
And I understand people are going to wear their tuxedos and tennis shoes this year.
Not required attire.
Not required attire. Shorts are fine.
Otherwise, we'd have to travel quite a ways to here.
Exactly.
And it's so nice to have that available in our community. And what a beautiful venue for it, as you said. So, Marcy, you have another shoe to drop, because you mentioned the story behind the cannons, and we can't do that on the show without telling the story.
Well, actually, these cannons we brought in 4 cannons. There was a group of cannon enthusiasts, is what they call themselves. They're 4 couples, men and women, and they take their cannons around from venue to venue and shoot their cannons. In our case, we did the 1812 Overture for a finale, which was fabulous. And these cannons were actually made by Krupp's in Germany for the King of Siam. And they're 50-millimeter howitzer cannons that were restored and brought to the States. So it was delightful, and the couples that brought them in were a lot of fun and very excited about what they're doing, and definitely was a highlight of the evening.
Well, I remember I was there, and I remember the surprise that the audience at the sound. It's a good thing they were shooting blanks.
Yeah.
We would have been taking out a few houses along the way. Any surprises in store this year? Anything you can tell us about?
Basically, the added attraction will be, we're bringing in a grand concert. The thing about this concert, the setup and getting everything set up outside on a driving range with electrical supplies at a distance is a little bit of a feat.
Yeah.
So we're going to bring in a grand concert piano from Reno. So that will be our biggest challenge this year.
Well, that, and I think one of the fun things about getting to the concert early is that you get to kind of scrounge around for golf balls, which there seem to be plenty of on the green.
Yeah, some golf balls are tossed around periodically.
Well, Marcy, it's a wonderful event. It's fun, and it's, as I said earlier, just great music. And we really appreciate your energy and your work and putting that together.
Great,
it's a
thank you.
wonderful
I
event.
love doing it.
Good.
And I hope to see everybody there.
Well, we'll see you there. Tickets available at the gate?
They'll be available at the gate. They'll go on sale June 15th at the Tahoe Donner Pass Information Office at the Tahoe Donner Trout Creek Recreation Center. They'll be on sale at Backstreet Framers in Truckee. And then they'll be on sale on the North Shore. The North Lake Tahoe Visitors Bureau will be a good contact. I'm not sure where all the locations will be on the North Shore.
That's a good contact, though.
But that's a good contact.
Is this open for all ages?
All ages. The ticket break is for 5 to 15 years old.
Okay.
We've upped the ages, hopefully to encourage some young teenagers to come out for a little cultural experience. So the prices will be reduced for those ages.
That's great. Marcy, thank you again for being
Thank
on the
you.
show. And we look forward to seeing you not only at that event, but any host of events that will be going on in the summer. We will be coming back to you later on in the summer with events going on through the end of July, August, and September. In the meantime, keep attending these great events. It's a wonderful way to support your community and get out and have some fun yourself. Thank you for joining us here on Truckee Talks, and we'll see you next time.